that we're human beings. We're not robots. Every police officer doesn't react in the same way. And we want people to realize that.
Nearly every government player in the system is a participant, right, in the perpetuation of systemic injustice.
Decades of police practices like stop and frisk and race profiling have molded policing in the U.S. And now law enforcement departments are facing an uphill battle to correct course. Is a new generation of police officers the answer to defeating systemic injustice?
Our students teach me so much, right? Because not only do I share with them my experiences and my observations as a practitioner, they unfortunately share fairly regularly the encounters that they have had with law enforcement officers or other government agents. They share stories of racial profiling, right, of unfair treatment. Yet these are students who want to pursue careers in law enforcement.
Well, I decided to pursue the degree because I feel like it's very important. These classes that we take, CCJS 110, sociology, they're really useful because you kind of understand more than just the kind of criminal aspect of it.
It's no secret that personal experience can impact how we perceive others.
If a crime is committed by a young Black man, right, by and large, the image that the media will share regarding the alleged perpetrator of that offense is a mugshot, right? It is someone who looks angry, perhaps who looks afraid, who looks disheveled. If an offense is allegedly perpetrated by a young white man, what you frequently see is a senior class photo. You see a photo of him with his family, right? You see him at his most human and at his most relatable.
Regardless of whatever happens in the news, in the police, just in the police field in general, I mean, you just have to remember that you work for the people and that's your number one priority.
So one of the things that's most important is in my mind is being able to identify those biases, as well as really being aware of different cultures. When we have officers who decide to do things selfishly, they go outside of the norm and they violate our policies and our laws, those officers are going to be held accountable.
Interested in a career in law enforcement? Consider how recognizing your biases and transforming your perceptions could help you and your community.
And implicit bias training is a part of that retraining that we do on an annual basis. And so we want to make sure that we're having our folks identify, taking a deep look into themselves to find out these biases, why they exist, and how can you correct that? Because we all have it.
Before I started at MC, I was a full-time practicing criminal defense attorney. I began my career in Baltimore City, in the public defender's office in East Baltimore, right? So I, got to observe firsthand the very real impact that bias, not only from police officers, but bias from prosecutors, bias from judges, right? The negative impact that has on litigants in the system. And those are litigants who are disproportionately low-income folks, right? They are people of color. So I am able to bring into the classroom real accounts of bias on display and create opportunities for students to evaluate how they might have responded, right, if they were confronted with a similar situation.
Future law enforcement officers in our county will experience high standards in their training and preparedness.
Montgomery County sets high standards for the people that they hire. 60 college credits, background checks, psychological, all that stuff. I think they set very high standards, and it's great that they do that, and that's one of the reasons why I want to work for them.
So we value education here in Montgomery County Police, and ever since really the late '70s, we've required minimum of 2 years of college upon entry, and all of our supervisors, beginning with the sergeants and above, you have to have a 4-year degree in order for promotion.
It is our goal at MC to produce criminal justice professionals who are genuinely committed to protecting and to serving their community, but to doing so, in an ethical way and in accordance with constitutional and other legal mandates, and to do their jobs with empathy, right? And to really respect the fundamental humanity of everyone with whom they come in contact, right? Not just crime victims.
I mean, you have to think of it. Everybody going into law enforcement now, we can be the change in law enforcement, bridge that gap between the community and the police, and overall just have a better community and better relationship. Because we can't continue to keep severing ties with the community, because then we just lose trust. And I think that's number one thing that's important, is building trust with the community.
This current academy class that we have is the first time we've had a majority minority class that is starting with our department. So we're excited about that.
This is Outlook Montgomery. Thanks for watching. Interested in a criminal justice career? Visit montgomerycollege.edu/criminaljustice.